So I'm John. I'm going to talk about the future of virtual reality, and I'm from a place called the Reality Centre, which is just across the street really. It's actually by Finsbury Square, and we evangelise virtual reality, mixed reality, augmented reality, 360, stereoscopy, and all sorts of realities. So I'm going to call them XR, as in cross realities or trans realities. So virtual reality is associated with gaming, but many believe that along with AR and MR, it'll evolve into the next computing platform, and it'll affect all of our senses and grow into a multi-billion dollar industry. The point I want to make here is that it's going to evolve into the next computing platform. That means that our laptops aren't going to completely disappear. Our mobiles might not completely disappear in the next few years, and I know it's all about 2018, and we'll all have a mobile in the year 2018 still, but they are slowly likely to disappear as we become more involved in ambient computing and conversational computing, and AI takes a hold, and as you hear from many people, blockchain and crypto technology takes hold, and we start to make transactions far quicker, and things become our clients. We're based in Moorgate, and we've just recently expanded to White City, and we try to connect corporates and creatives with each other and accelerate creative startups in virtual reality, and get them plugged into the ecosystem of corporates as well. Virtual reality is not new. This talk, by the way, is about a 20-minute talk, so I'm going to skip through loads of slides here just to get to the meat and bones of it. Virtual reality, that's a definition of it, which I won't bother about. It's been around for a long time. We're trying to get to 2018, so I will whiz through that very quickly. I would like to play this example, and this is an example, it's only just recently been released, and very loud.
It's not okay to be gay, well, I think you're just evil. You're just so
Kate Perry, and this is about snap glasses and the lenses that you can modify the world with. So she's basically picked up lots of glasses and she is modifying the world, and this is something that will come to us soon. See that the world is likely to be modified by the things that we look through. I think you get the idea of that. Basically, Snap came out with that idea of a lens that you can look through and you can modify the world through. And ethically, how do you feel about being able to change how someone looks or do something to them in your virtual world? You think that might not affect you, but it may well affect the relationship you have with the world around you. And that's an ethical concern. So we've got to 2016 at last. We got to the point where we are now. We currently have virtual reality, which is on mobile. It's on desktop, which is a computer system, and we have a standalone computer. And I did plan on using my HoloLens and streaming it here and putting lots of holograms around the room and showing you a slightly different environment, an augmented environment. But we can't do that because I don't think we have Wi-Fi here. These are new devices that have just come out. They've been out for about a month. Steam VR, which is a gaming platform, which you may or may not have heard of, has been launched on them about 2 weeks now. And basically they're virtual reality devices with a slight difference. They use sensors here to track your movement and your hand movement. So you can see what by this, the real world and the virtual world are starting to merge. And that's why they're called mixed reality devices. So there's virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. And I'm going to try and move on to predictions a bit. So I did say I would move forward. Basically, Zuckerberg said that he wants to get 1 billion people into virtual reality or extended realities, XR, in the next few years. And that's quite a tall order, because I could imagine, in fact, I would like you to put your hands up. Who here has got a virtual reality device? 1 or 2, 3 or 4, oh, actually, maybe 6, 7%, something like that. That's not too bad. Okay, so maybe he's onto something, you know, old Zuck. So anyway, basically, his intention and everyone's intention in virtual reality is to try and engage more senses, more and more senses. At the moment, we're engaging audio sense and visual sense, and we're engaging body sense in the way of memory muscle. Because if you do something in the real world, you remember it in a different way to if you watched it on a video. But if you watch it in virtual reality, you're experiencing it. So the more senses that are covered, the more likely the word virtual is going to fade away and disappear from our vocabulary. It will become another reality. It's just the extension of realities. Very much like we will use a mobile phone right now. We use a smartphone, and I'm sure that 10 years ago virtually no one had a smartphone. We use it every day. It's a complete extension of your life. You might trip over, you might walk into a lamppost almost. You put it in front of your face and you start walking. You use it morning, noon and evening if you're not on a computer, pretty much. We're quite addicted to this social media and mobile phones, and virtual reality can actually refresh us to give us something new, and that is the joy of actually being there in a way, because a mobile phone is a small device, whereas virtual reality or augmented reality or mixed reality is an extension of reality. So mixed reality headsets have recently come out from Microsoft. Samsung too has come out with one, and we are about to get something called the Oculus Go and the HTC Focus. They are coming out very soon. So what this is different. This is like a mobile, but instead of using a mobile, it's just got a screen in it. And you can put it down and you can pick it up, and it starts and it goes from exactly the same point. So the idea of picking your mobile up, it always is in the same state, whereas virtual reality currently isn't like that. Very old-fashioned, really, but this is like that. And when it comes out soon, it's going to be £200 as well, so it's quite affordable. And then there is something called the HTC Focus, which is a very strange looking device. Originally that's only going to come out in China, But if you know what a HTC Vive is, this is using inside, oh look, that's a laser. There's the inside tracking there to scan the room like a mixed reality device does, but it's got the full computing power of a HTC Vive built in, cordless, cableless. And so that, I think, is going to come to us next year. I believe so. That time. I'll just finish with, what should I finish with? I just wanted to mention Apple very quickly. Who here's got an Apple phone or an Apple device or an Apple? That's more people than have virtual reality headsets. That's interesting. So very quickly, I'm going to whiz through this. Apple are very active in VR, MR, or AR, whatever we want to call it, XR. They're very active there. You can see that since June they've been buying up lots of things, and just a couple of days ago they bought VR Varna, which is inside-out tracking headset mixed reality. They're not going to turn up with a headset, I think, in 2018. I think it'll be 2019, late 2019 probably, before they do that. But I just thought I wanted to mention Apple. Thank you. Thanks very much.